goddesses. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, we get to hang out and dance and spend some amazing sister time together with Gypsy, Shaylee, and Nancy. And we just wanted to show up and share a little bit about how sisterhood, how sisterhood has played a role in our lives as support, or just being held by other women, by other sisters. And if there is, so I can share, I can go first since I'm speaking. For me, I had and possibly still have a deep sister wound. And this came from childhood and teenager years, around girls, around mean girls. Like, it all happens to all of us. And oftentimes we are also the mean girls in childhood or throughout our lives. And where I was going with this, sometimes when I speak, I am completely guided, and oftentimes my mind gets distracted. So the sister wound came from being hurt by other women. And this has to do a lot with even nationality, with Russian nationality for me. I noticed that now when I think back, whenever there was a Russian woman around, anywhere in public, my husband would say, "Oh, honey, they're Russian." I would run to the opposite side of that room or that space. I did not want to meet another Russian woman. So for me, it was some kind of a deep wound. And until I started coming into women gatherings, I truly could feel and realize that women, that we are all sisters, and that it's so important to have women as sisters, women as our allies, our friends, our best friends, our soulmates, our lovers, in the way of sharing our love and how we are, feminine essence. Because our spouses, they don't understand, and that's okay. They're men, and they have a different role that they play in our lives other than sisters. With these beautiful goddesses, I can practice yoga, I can practice meditation, we can paint together, we can craft together, can dance and sing, and without even questioning once if that's okay or if we're weird, or like, we fulfill each other. We don't need to beg each other to come with us places because we want to. Yeah. And just being together in that feminine energy is so healing. I believe that women are all here to be healers, to heal through their wounds and bring that medicine to the world in so many different ways. So I'm so grateful for my sisterhood. I'm grateful for this channel, this Facebook group, this portal. To me, it's a beautiful sanctuary space that all women are welcome and all women are held and witnessed and supported, and I'm so grateful. Okay, this is it. Thank you, girls. Who's next?
You?
Go for it.
You started, you took a breath first, so go ahead, honey.
Okay.
Yes. Sisterhood for me.
Anya said, just speaking into like the deep wound of sisterhood, it all roots back. Like when I was little, I felt like I always had to prove myself because we would have like 3 of us, and one friend was like the master leader, and so she would like pick somebody every day who was her favorite friend, and so that like rooted into my core that I had to like be somebody else to be loved and to prove myself, to like be the chosen one. So as I've just always like craved a deep connection with women, and I didn't really understand why and what that was and why I felt like I had to like be the best one. And then I started going to circles, like full moon circles and new moon circles with women, and it was the first time that I was held in a circle of women where I learned that we can just share our hearts and be held and listened to, and they don't always have to offer us what they think or from their story. It's just like fully being held by another woman, and it like broke open that space in me, and realizing like my worth, and that instead of competing, like we are all so equal in a sense of rising and raising each other up, instead of like a competition and thinking that like one of us have to be better, or just the societal programming that we have, judgment and like, oh, she has this and I don't have this, or just that kind of stuff. It totally helped me step into a space of like realizing there's enough for all of us, and when we hold each other and support each other, we don't have to compete. Like we can all rise up together. So I notice myself sometimes getting stuck back in my little childhood core wound, where I feel like I'm not invited or I'm not good enough, and then I just come around sisters again that are like all in a healthy space, and I don't have to live that. And I feel so held, and remember like we just all are. Like we're all, and this is so cool because we're kind of all different seasons and phases of life, all of us, but like we just all relate and we're all held. So there's like no competition, and it just feels free and at home. Thank you for holding me, you guys. And like the touch of a woman is just, men, I love their touch and like the safety they provide, but then like women touch is so soft and held and just like a whole different divinity. So thank you.
So what phase are you?
I feel like I am in the mother phase. I am deeply in motherhood right now with my little babies, but I was like in the wounded maiden. So like I look at the 4 archetypes as like our cycles of our moon time and season of the maiden, the mother, the wild woman, and the crone. And I was a wounded maiden, just like seeking refuge through alcohol and drugs and partying and feeling like I had to give myself sexually, and through that I had to learn how to mother myself, like remothering, and be the mother to myself. And in that I called so deeply upon my divine mother and found what that meant for me, because like my religious programming was all like the masculine, the father, you know, look to that, and I never connected with a mother. And so in healing my wounded maiden, I found the divine mother and just being held by her, and I learned how to remother myself and to like fully be there for myself, like I had myself, and that was all. And that used to be so scary to me, and like lonely, but now it's so empowering that like I have myself to do and nurture myself and hold myself and be there for myself. So I'm definitely in that mother and like also finding my wild woman, you know, my primal, like letting her come out and play and be sensual.
The true raw feminine
Yeah.
energy.
Feels good, that juicy. So those are my two that I feel right
Love
now.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you for
Mm.
hearing me. How you feeling?
If you could just say it all in a sigh, I would do it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be here without Anya to find these places that desperately needed to be addressed and healed. And then without Gypsy and Shaylee here, I wouldn't be who I am now. It just keeps getting better. And that's all I can think of right now. It just
Love you
opens
so much.
to healing. Thank you.
Thank you for being
Love
a
you.
wise woman, just holding that, walking that path.
And the wild
Honor you.
woman.
Yes.
And for holding space for the maiden.
It's true.
Yeah.
And children and
It's true.
And being a beautiful mother to your own children.
yes. Nancy is a good mother.
And a healer to all of us.
Yes.
So
you
thankful
are.
for you.
It's just bubbling, but thank you for being here.
Thank you. I feel like the fact of like little words sometimes just holds that like inward sacred wisdom. Just, you know, it comes from like that. I've walked that.
It is good enough to spit out, but sometimes it just kind of ebbs back inside. I thought,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I'm supposed to share it when it comes up.
Mhm.
If we could say it in a sigh. I think
I love
everybody that breathes and can breathe in knows what Nancy is trying to say. And, you know, today we discussed if we would dance, who was going to be which season. We were going to dance the seasons. And yet I realized, just like the triad, the maiden, mother, crone, the seasons intertwine and love each other. They make love to each other. They are lovers. We have summer and fall. We have that time in between summer and fall where nobody knows how to dress. You're too cold, but you're also too hot. Same thing between fall and winter. They intermingle. It's important. And today I think instead of choosing one, let's all dance our seasons, our individual seasons. I love spring. It's so short, but it's when everything tries to procreate and come up out of the ground and try with great effort to continue their existence. Every plant, every animal, not conscious of knowing that it could be their last year, or they only get to live 5 or 10 years. Unlike people, they still try with great effort to continue a legacy, to continue a legend. And humans, because we're conscious, we get to have luxury in knowing what we get to create, what we get to continue, who created us, and through which great effort those that created us went through for us, and gives us the strength to go through great effort for the ones that we create. And that can be about your mother, your father, your grandmother, your children. It can also be about you. You know, I think I discussed in the last video that I was grieving somebody that is no longer there. I'm not saying I'm a different person entirely, but I am, and I will continue to heal, but I am no longer considering myself somebody that needs to be healed. And I know some of you understand that and some of you don't, and that's okay. But I am a woman of action, and like I promised Kali I would be ready. I am keeping my promise, and she's delivering for sure. And she's not making it easy, but even more reason to bleed my enemies and wear them on my lips. I indulge in being powerful. And I used to be very scared and passive about it, and I love it. I love the power that I have just from who I am. And my mother has always taught me to be very kind and humble and always try and never give up and give what I can to others and just be the best woman that I can be. And she taught me a lot about being a woman, but I almost didn't understand what she was trying to teach me until her husband, my father, who I am dearly devoted to, he told me one day, you know, women are the ones with all the power. Some of you know it, some of you don't. And that's true. We women have all the power. And I must admit, when I was younger, I probably abused the sexual power of a woman, and therefore it harmed me, because I understood the power in men wanting women, yet I didn't understand it for myself, and so I became hurt because of that. But I understand it on a very sensual level, not just a sexual level, an intimate level, that we emanate sexual creative power. And we make mistakes, but it makes us who we are. I think about all the things that would have happened to me and that have happened to me, and I wouldn't change anything. I said this before, even the bad things that have happened, I wouldn't change it, because I wouldn't be who I am. And also I realize with the butterfly effect, if I had chosen something different, it could have changed the lives of people around me. Even if I chose to not pick a flower or to pick a flower in some way, and that frightened me, because I view everybody around me as trying with great effort and succeeding. Everybody that I love, that I see around me, even if they are hurting or ailing, I see them succeeding. And therefore I wouldn't change my pain. I wouldn't change their pain. I wish I could take it and lessen it. But we all have our own cart to push. We all flow down the river differently. Some of us have a smooth path with smooth rocks, or maybe no rocks in the way. Other ones have boulders, but we're all still part of that same river. If it's turbulent or soft, we all get there, and we all have to work together. And there's other things in the river too. There's life, there's love, there's birth, there's death. So, I guess we were supposed to talk about dreams today. And instead, I think I will just make a promise. In fear and out of respect for the butterfly effect, I promise to continue my path for myself and for all of you. And I know you are trying, and I'm proud of you for trying for yourself, because you're trying for others. And we love you, and we're right here with you. So dance with us. Even if it's on the inside, outside, in your heart, in your mind, sing, dance with your voice. Dance with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's perfect.
I just remembered what I was thinking I wanted to say.
What?
Say it now.
Yeah.
It was, okay. It's because I've been so bombarded all over the map that I just thought if I can be, it's what you've shared, how you teach us. If I can channel my own archangel, or a few pieces of all that are as teaching you with that smoke that's invisible, then I won't be ever afraid what word should come out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're not our words.
I've just been so feeling the utter shame of being corrected and have to say it again and again and again, and that, yeah.
Aw. That's freeing, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the moments of hearing the truth in Gypsy's voice, yours, you talk. It's all doing its magic.
We're stirring the beautiful
Ocean
Yeah.
of
ocean
cosmic
of love,
consciousness.
cosmic
Yeah,
love.
like each inspires like your own thoughts when other people share. Just like brings it all together.
Yeah.
Let's dance.
you.
And we've had a lot to get through, some of us.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah.
Thank you.
What? I
I
probably
put
do.
good for no, you don't. I put good for Rose. It's trying to make sure that
love you.